But for some reason, that's not how it works. And it's really weird. It's like Daniel Sprong should be able to figure this out. He should be chomping at the bit to be playing in the NHL, and I feel like he's just not.
I mean, there's that carrot there. You basically say, hey, if you do well on this line, maybe we'll put you on a line with Malkin. Maybe we'll put you on a line with Crosby. And then you guys can have fun. But, yeah.
But he's not even playing with bad players. That's the worst part. Like, I get people who are frustrated because he's on the fourth line and whatnot. Matt Cullen is not a bad hockey player.
Right.
Like, he's old. Yeah. But he's not the problem.
Yeah.
So, you got this. You have this young guy who it just feels like. I feel like he isn't trying hard enough. And that sounds really bad, but that's how it feels. Like, I feel like Zach Aston Reese, every time he's with this team, he puts 110% in.
Yeah.
I feel like Sidney Crosby, the captain of the freaking team, who is one of the best players in the NHL, one of the best players in NHL history, has undoubtedly, in my mind, the best backhand in NHL history, still puts in 110% every day.
Yeah.
And Daniel Sprong thinks he can come in here and just kind of... No! Look at Jake Gensel. Jake Gensel is where he is because he works hard. And he's good. You need both.
Maybe it's what is it, that Peter principle? Basically, you keep getting promoted until you end up in a job where you're not good at. And maybe he was just getting by on talent the whole time because he was talented, but now it doesn't take just talent.
And that's highly possible.
Yeah.
Derek Pouliot was definitely a botched development situation, but a lot of that had to do with the fact that they had like 6 regime changes and like the coaches all wanted different things from him and he didn't pan out.
Yeah.
Daniel Sprong, he knows what they want. They want you to shoot the dang puck. This isn't rocket science.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and he has a great shot too, so yeah.
Yeah, he has this like incredible shot, but he never uses it. Like, what's up with that?
Yep. Yeah. Well, we'll see. I have a feeling Rutherford is not done making moves.
Oh no, so, not even close.
Well, yeah. That's one of his good things. You're right. He doesn't have sentimental value for players. If he thinks someone needs to go, they go. So we will see. All right. Thank you so much for coming on again. Leah Blasko at Celia. You're on the Pens blog. Thanks for coming on again.
Thanks for having me. I had fun.
All right. Pirates make a trade and pick up Eric Gonzalez from the Indians. With me to talk about it is one half of the North Shore 9, Mr. Dinardo. How are you doing, sir?
Hey, I'm just happy you invited this jagoff back to the show.
Yes.
What's that about?
Well, it's your
I come and listen to your show, and like 13 seconds in, I find out I'm a jagoff.
Wow.
By my friend down here.
Your friend down there called you something worse, just so you know.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's it also is true.
It's your fault for not teaching him Pittsburghese. When he's talking to Pittsburgh people and he's coming to Pittsburgh, he needs to know these things.
I'll take the heat for that. I apologize. So the next time we come up, which I heard him say like the first 3 months, I don't know about that. I mean, I'm going to be up in Pittsburgh actually this next month, December 9th. That'll be my first time up in the winter in probably 8 years. And that's only because I had a vacation planned for Vegas that fell through. So yeah, I don't foresee us being up there within the first 3, but no, for sure. Next year we'll definitely be up, hopefully in June-ish maybe.
I feel bad for you because like today was the first like snow, like bad weather, and it's, what is it right now? It is 32 degrees and snowing, and it takes a while to get used to it. Like, but right now I'm just angry and sad and just like, oh God, we have to put up with this weather now. And for someone in Florida to have to deal with cold and snow and all that, it's like, it's just not fair.
Yeah, I'm dealing with 60 degrees right now,
which is considered cold in Florida.
Right. I'm like, oh darn it, the cold weather's back. It's 60 out. Meanwhile, cut that in half, and that's where you're located.
I may need a light jacket. Oh no.
Right. Yeah, but no, I'm kind of excited to come up. But no, next time for sure. I'm gonna have Geddes in some trainings. We're gonna go over some Pittsburghese. He's gonna know some stuff. He's gonna have He's gonna have French fries on his sandwich by the time he comes up.
Exactly. Take him to Get-Go too, because he doesn't know what a Get-Go is.
Yeah, it's true, huh?
Yeah.
All right, will do.
You need to get him educated. So the Pirates make a trade, and they get Eric Gonzalez, and I'm hearing mixed reviews. I'm hearing maybe this guy is going to be awesome because basically he was held back because he's playing behind Lindor, or maybe he's just a dude. What do you think the Pirates will do with him? Do you think he's a starter, or do you think that they still need to get somebody at shortstop?
I'm going to go with the latter. Me personally, I'm not looking at this trade as if, all right, we got our shortstop, now let's move forward. I'm looking at this trade. It almost comes off like it's made because of a roster crunch. Let's talk to the two guys that the Pirates traded off. Jordan Luplow and Max Moroff. Moroff was basically out of options. He was going to have to be, either on the team or go through waivers. And I'm sure some team would have picked him up, just for the fact that he plays middle infield. He's had some pop in the minors and such. So, he was almost as good as gone. So it made sense, if you're not in the plans, to go ahead and trade him, right? So I'm sure, the GM the meetings, Neil was pretty active in trying to find a deal. With Luplow, it almost seems the same sense, like there's a roster crunch for him. And I think this actually speaks more the fact that, there could potentially be an opening for him to play with Gregory Polanco on the shelf, albeit we're not sure, but, at least for the first month, maybe two of next season, that, they include him in this trade. For one, that speaks, okay, maybe they're not just going to settle for what they have internally to cover that. And for two, they mustn't feel too great about Luplow, what he can bring. So it's like it's two middling guys that don't really have a spot on this team that's traded for a player like Gonzalez, who does have some versatility. He can play virtually everywhere on the infield. He played a lot of the outfield in 16 and 17. Last year, he played everywhere in the infield. You know what, Joe? There's these Pirates like guys like that. Sean Rodriguez 2.0.
Oh, that's funny. You're saying Sean Rodriguez. I was thinking J-Hay 2.0, because at one point J-Hay was a utility guy. Oh, that's really interesting. I didn't know he could be an outfielder too. So, he basically
played every position but center.
Wow.
But he played that in the minors.
Wow. Yeah. That's a not a big vote of confidence to Luplow. It's like there is a definite need for an outfielder, and we're like, yeah, we don't want. I don't care if you're the last outfielder on earth. We don't want you.
Right. And the thing is, like, there is definitely a lot of depth in the outfield in this, system. Now, there's not a whole lot of top end, but it's almost like you can find a Jordan Luplow in our system. So to go ahead and trade off Max Moroff and Jordan Luplow, they're expendable to me. Whoever we got, I'd have been okay with. You're not going to get anything, superb for them. So you get an Eric Gonzalez that kind of fills the need, but right, I don't look at him as like the answer for shortstop. Now I'm with you though. I'm hearing mixed reviews. This guy could have talent. The Pirates got a steal in this. I know he hasn't had a whole lot of plate appearances in the majors. He's been blocked by so much talent, like Jose Ramirez and Francisco Lindor over there in Cleveland. But at the same time, you really look at his numbers and all through the minors and such. The guy just doesn't walk. When he hit the majors, he strikes out a lot. I don't know. I don't know. I know he's not young in the sense that he's, 22 years old. He's 27, so he's like in his prime. So, I mean, maybe there's a little bit of offense in there, but if regardless, he definitely has a defense. He can play everywhere. The Pirates love that, the flexibility, and there is value. You know, I've said it time and time again, maybe not this past year, obviously, but, you know, players like Sean Rodriguez, they have value on any major league team just for the fact that they can play solid defense anywhere. You know, I mean, that helps any club because, you know, you don't have to go and search for 2 or 3 guys to do that. One guy can play everywhere. Now just fill the bench with some guys that can hit.
That's so true. When you have like a super utility guy where you can put anywhere, that kind of saves a batter and saves a spot on the roster for a batter. You could throw an extra bullpen arm or something like that. So yeah, that's really valuable. So would you say shortstop is their biggest need that they need to fill this offseason?
I mean,
and outfielder.
I would say, well, see, this is where it's a bit difficult to say. I mean, I guess the need, definitely shortstop. Not so much second base. I mean, they need both, but you do technically have Adam Frazier there. I would more or less want him as, you know, like a utility guy, the role he's more or less been playing than like a full-time second baseman, but he is there. So I think certainly the biggest need is a shortstop. I'm not comfortable with Newman. You know, I don't want Mercer back. With Gonzalez, I think that shuts the door on Mercer for sure. You know, there's no need to have another backup shortstop. And, you know, even with Gonzalez now in that trade, it's like I'm not comfortable with him playing shortstop. But I do think that, said time and time, this middle infield market isn't the greatest. You know, you have Manny Machado and then guys, right? Yeah. It's like, you know, pick your name, who you want. The guys that are out there just aren't that good, or they were good and they're coming off really bad seasons. They're, you know, very much of a risk. So, you know, in my eyes, you could almost you could fill it with Gonzalez if you spend the money elsewhere. You know what I mean? If you find value and create wins elsewhere, almost like the Brewers this year. You know, everyone said that their biggest need was the rotation, and they really didn't fill that need. They went out there with the guys they had, but they found value in other players, you know, like Yelich, and made wins. And, you know, if the Pirates can say, let's kind of almost punt on shortstop and let's go and maybe add to a strength, like their bullpen, maybe their rotation or such, and do it that way, I mean, that creates wins. So, you know, that's kind of where I'm at.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember you saying that the last time you were on. It's like, you know, basically take what the market gives you. If that's don't try to force it. So, but what do you think about somebody like Jose Iglesias at shortstop? Is that one of those just guys you're talking about?
No, actually, that's definitely a name that I wouldn't mind, because I don't think he's going to come at a very expensive price. I mean, he's definitely a glove first, bat last, which at the shortstop position, that's not too bad. But think about this too, like a really good glove. We've had Jordy Mercer as our shortstop for many years. You've seen an average to then, of course, well below average glove at shortstop. If you can get a really good glove there, not only is that good, I mean, that's great defense. That's going to help your strength, you know, which is your pitching. So if you can, of course, acquire maybe some pitchers and you add a cheap value, you know, pick at shortstop in like Iglesias, and that's also going to help your strength. Right. I mean, I would really like that. Wins are wins. And if it's not by the bat and it's by the glove, it still helps your team.
Yeah. I'm just looking at this. There's an article also. They bring up Carlos Gonzalez. He could probably be had cheap.
Pass.
No, yeah. Is he the classic, like, we'll get an old guy and he's way past his prime, and then we're stuck with him, and because like another Sean Rodriguez.
I mean, somewhat, but on top of that too, I don't like him. I mean, he's a classic. You're saying like that veteran, but in the same sense, he's the classic Coors product, it seems, especially now in his later years. You know, his bat's really gone downhill. When you look at his stats and his splits from Coors Field to away, they're horrible away, you know? So it's like, I don't want to spend money on a guy like that because he's going to play at PNC Park for the most part. And I think it's a waste of money. I think you can find other guys like Granderson, I think would be a great fit
Oh,
I would
that'd
love
be
Curtis
nice.
Granderson because at 38, 39 years old, whatever he is, I don't think he's going to come that expensive. And if Polanco does come back healthy, he'll be a great fourth outfielder, but certainly that insurance policy. Unfortunately,